Good day to our lovely viewers joining us on different platforms. My name is Lolisha Jerry, and I will be your host for this interview. Joining me here today is my co host Vivian Lungu.
Thank you so much, Lolisha. And here with us in studio is Mr. Philip Zulu, who is the Legal Revelation Initiative Director. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. So, Mr. Philip, I'll allow you to introduce yourself because I'm afraid I might omit some important aspects from your presentation. So, I'll allow you to introduce yourself. Who is Mr. Philip Zulu?
My name is Philip Zulu, and I am the founder of Legal Revelations Initiative, who is currently serving as its Director General. Personally, I am a youth-driven and motivated individual who really thinks about the well-being of youths and trying to drive youths to a position or a point where they are able to positively contribute to the community. And in that way, I serve as an advocate and as well as an activist for youth engagement, development, and so many other things. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Nice.
Wonderful, very impressive, I would say. So, sir, I'm sure our viewers are wondering or they would like to know what is Legal Revelation Initiative?
Okay, so Legal Revelations Initiative is an initiative that is centered on driving impactful conversations and engagements, not only for students but also for the community. Uh, Legal Revelations Initiative really does focus on improving on advocating for legal literacy. We have so many initiatives that advocate for literacy as a whole, but for Legal Revelations Initiative, it focuses mostly on trying to improve the knowledge of the society on what exactly is regulating us, a gap which has been in existence for a very long time. Yeah.
Interesting, I must say. But Mr. Felipe, I could tell from Lorisha's expression that she was following, but she wanted us to say when was it founded.
Okay, so Legal Revelations Initiative was founded in 2019 on November 15th. Yes, that's when we initially started as an initiative. Uh, Before that, there was a personal profile that I was running, learning the law with Mr. Felipe, which now transformed and transitioned into Legal Revelations Initiative as we know it.
Impressive.
Okay, very wonderful. So, okay, you started this initiative. That was in 2019, you say?
Yes.
Wonderful. So, what is the primary objective of this initiative? What made you, start this initiative?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for that question. Like I mentioned, there is a huge gap that is in existence as far as literacy is concerned. We know that literacy means to write, the ability to write, and equally the ability to read, right? So, in the sense of legal literacy, we're basically looking at how much knowledge exactly is in existence, not only on the paper, but how much knowledge does the community have? How much knowledge do students have, for example? Because the exposures are very different. The universities teach different courses and all that. So how much exactly do they know? How current is their information? So that gap in itself is what motivated me to begin an initiative to join together with students who have the same ideology as me, so that we can come up with an initiative that is there to lead impact on the world as far as legal literacy is concerned. So that's our primary objective, really, to drive change as far as learning and being able to articulate properly yourself in as matters of law are concerned. Yeah.
Okay. So, Mr. Philip, there's this wise saying that goes around to say the beginning of something is always the hardest. I'm sure you've come across that quote.
Yes, I have.
So, my question is, what were the challenges that you faced along the journey in terms of you establishing the initiative and all that? So I would love to know what were some of the challenges and how you managed to overcome such challenges, both at personal level and for you to get where you are now.
Okay, so personally, I've had a very difficult time working with students, because as an initiative, we're really working mostly with students. So there was a very big gap in terms of trying to make students understand and to work along with my passion as far as the initiative is concerned. So that was a very big challenge. And I noticed that a lot of them were really looking forward to the gratification that comes as a result of being a part of the initiative and not really looking forward to working. So that was a very big blow for me. Other than that, also is to get the word out. The word out, and of course, I'm woke to the idea that modernization has presented us with a lot of opportunities. We now have a social network that can completely exist on the digital space. So getting to people was really a challenge, and not that getting access to people was a challenge because social media is there, but getting the message clear to the people was a problem. And then I also do recognize that, because our legal system is so stiff, the laws are couched in terms that are very difficult to understand for a layman. So I had to reinvent my messages and to make them more relatable in order for us to really make the impact that we want to do. So in order to do that, I did other. I went on a learning curve. I did public speaking, professionally trained, of course. I did teaching methodology so that I can be able to navigate this whole system that requires me to be in different forms every time I'm trying to interact with the society on matters relating to the law. Yeah, so that's about it.
Wonderful. So from what you just stated, I could see there's a lot of passion and resilience that you put in to get to where we are today as an initiative. So I would like to know what are some of the unique values and propositions that the initiative offers to its consumers, customers, as well as its clients.
Okay, so we run on a three-pronged approach, and this is couched actually in our motto as a legal revelations initiative. So there are three branches of it: educate, equip, and inform. These three are guiding principles for us as an initiative. So I'll explain each of them individually. When we talk about educating, we're not talking about bombarding individuals with law or just giving you a multitude of case law, a multitude of this legislation. No. The goal is to ensure that you actually understand and not memorize, right? Not memorize. So that is what we're trying to, or that is what we have been doing actually for a long time. Whereby if we had testimonials from students, they will tell you, I'm actually able to talk about these laws without even looking at a book because I have learned to understand the principle and not to memorize it, right? And then in our second tier, where we now talk about informing. Informing is more on community projects now. So what exactly is to inform? It's to try as much as possible to use the available resources that are around. Of course, we've used a lot of the digital space. We've really used a lot of media, including YouTube and Facebook, to now create content that is not relatable but relevant to the society. We do this through articles, we do this through videos, and we do this through public lectures and so on and so forth, to just try and inform people of their rights, of the laws that are in existence, and also to merely shed light on certain things that may seem to be so clouded in a lot of linguas that are very difficult to understand. Then we talk about equip. Equip is about skills. So what skills do you need to succeed as a lawyer? We'll talk about them. The skills could be mooting, it could be public speaking, it could be the ability to research, and also on and so forth. So that is for students. So we equip them in that way through various lessons, of course. It could be courses, it could be outside the courses themselves, with specifically created courses such as that which focuses merely on research. So yeah, those are some of the attributes that are very attractive.
Based off your responses, Mr. Zulu, I could tell that this initiative is something that's not quite small, but you actually have it on a broad piece of writing or something. So we would love to know, what are the long-term goals of this initiative? What do you have in place? What have you placed so that people can know out there, saying this is not just something that will be there for the next 2, 3, 5 years, but it's actually ongoing. So what are the goals that you have for this initiative?
Okay, so we're not really restricted as far as goals are concerned, but mostly we would like to, of course, inform the public. We are now running on an economy that is really reliant on information as a drive for a change and so on. So one of the objectives that we really have at Legal Revelations Initiative is to ensure that the community is informed, and to actually not only ensure that they're informed, but also to drive social impact at the end of the day. Because there are so many challenges that are being faced in the society, and as an initiative, really, we can start firstly by educating, and before and after that, that's when we can now do some real social work, where we can now drive the talk that we talk, because we're not only about talking. So we can do that. And aside from that, as far as students are concerned, it's to try and change the current system of only training philosophers. So we want to ensure that we contribute to the efforts that universities are making in training lawyers that are impactful, lawyers that have a vision, lawyers that are for the future, and not lawyers that only memorize case law and statute books. No, we want to try and as much as possible to train lawyers that even after they are postgraduate, they're undergraduate, they're able to properly really contribute positively to the society, because that is exactly why they're being trained. It's very, very different. If you look at the trainings for lawyers and that of nurses, it's very, very different. Our law trainings mostly, they don't really include the practical side of it and the real side of it. They usually rely on just information and how much information you can accumulate and reproduce. So that is what we're trying to change as an initiative, to show you that there's actually a different side of this whole program that you're doing. Yeah.
Wow, very interesting, very wonderful. Looking at how big this organization is and how impactful it is, not just to the lawyers and the law students, but even to the society, as in them getting to know and understanding their law. What are some of the core values of this organization? What are the core values of the organization?
Okay, so Legal Revelations Initiative, like I mentioned earlier on, it is really reliant on the three pillars that it has set. But from these three pillars, we drive authenticity, we drive accountability, and we draw out also issues related to the actual impact of change. So a lot of people will say they're the change makers, they drive change, and then this is only limited to just saying it. So Legal Revelations Initiative is about practicality. How practical is it that we can have a society that is well informed? We've noted down in history, especially here in Zambia, where we've had challenges with driving change, because information was not really available. A notable example is the failure of the 2016 referendum, something that would have been very beneficial for the society, but because they were not aware of it, we had a very big challenge in letting that referendum pass. So if we could have an initiative that is focused on informing, I'm sure it could really, really play a big role in trying to drive the change that needs to be there. So our core values really are focused on the three elements, or the three pillars of the initiative. Yeah.
So there you have it. Mr. Felipe was here to educate us on what the initiative can do, and I do believe there are instances in society when we are taken advantage of simply because we don't know what the law is. But hey guys, here's the good news: there is an initiative that can actually educate us and not allow anybody to take advantage of us. So from our side, this has been a wonderful time with you people, and this marks the end of our interview. Thank you so much, Mr. Felipe, for joining us despite your dynamic schedule. Really appreciate.
To our viewers, just remember that Legal Revelation Initiative will be commemorating its 5 years anniversary on the 15th of November 2024. If you would like to get more information about the initiative or perhaps be a part of us, you can get in touch on our socials, that is Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn at Legal Revelation Initiative. And further, for a more efficient communication, you can get in touch through our email at legalrevelationinitiative@gmail.com. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe. Until next time, goodbye from us.